Hello everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take another look here at Mirror Protocol. I got a tremendous amount of requests from this here today, so I figured I'd just go ahead and cover this really quick. Thanks again for joining me here. If you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, love teaching people how to trade, you want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech, Signals, Trading Academy, community, amazing experience. Check that out. Take a look here at Mirror Protocol though. Big picture, not in bad shape whatsoever. Okay, and let's go ahead and take a look at the big picture as a matter of fact and kind of see where we're coming from. So we had this descending type of channel that we finally eventually broke free from here recently. We've also got this key level support, of course, that was a previous support rather, basically ICO. And then an interesting thing recently where the price could not break past this price point. So 152 was a point of contention. Could not break past that as a resistance, kind of broke down, and then ever since then it's been spiking up, selling off for 2 or 3 days and doing the same thing over and over again. So hypothetically, if this trend continues today or yesterday, the price should have shot up, right? Now, obviously, yesterday will not come to fruition, and today doesn't look like it's going to happen either, but generally speaking, it's not looking terrible. And ultimately, I think what we can expect here is that being up over the 50-day SMA, we're probably going to see some turbulence coming up around 240. Now, what I mean by that is we've got the 200-day SMA working its way down. That's a previous resistance here. And if this trend line continues, just say the price continues to progress upwards, we'll probably see a few more candle wicks up and a potential breakout to the upside at 240. So just know that that's kind of an area there that we're going to come to a head. We got a resistance level plus the 200-day, and that's something just to be aware of. But good news is we have this nice little ascending type of RSI as well. Higher highs, higher lows effectively, and ultimately looking very good in that sense too, where we see the price action kind of relaxing down to about 56. So the likelihood of it coming back up again is pretty high considering the fact that it's previously bounced off of 50 on the RSI. So hypothetically tomorrow or possibly later today, we could see Mirror Protocol make another bounce. If we lose this trend line, however, keep that in mind. It's not the end of the world, but it could imply that we might see more bearish divergence and the price could have to come down further. Okay. So I think a one-day candlestick close today above 186 would be important just to kind of continue to maintain that. It wouldn't be a big deal if it kind of wicked down like it did today. This could be just the return of fire, but generally speaking, that's kind of what we're looking at. Oh, one last thing to note too. We did have a gravestone yesterday, followed by a lower doji. That's usually not a great sign, but commonly you can see that reverse depending on the trend and where it's going. Because usually if you see a gravestone at the very top of an arc, at the top of a bullish continuation, then that's a sign of reversal. But when you see a doji candle, basically a gravestone doji, on this way down, it does have a tendency of reversing. So we could very well see that as well. Again, I know that seems kind of counterintuitive or contradictory, but that's one of those interesting little phenomenons you'll see happen. And it just depends on the trend, right? So what I mean by trend, if we look at the 4-hour, how long has this been on this downtrend here? So we got up to a 7, got a reset down to a 3, back up to a 1, down to a 7. So simply put, we've got 8 more hours of bearish divergence potential before the price comes back up. Now the good news is here we have this nice little doji here and the price could continue higher. We've also got the 50-day SMA kind of working alongside this trend line. So again, a close above that 50-day SMA at about 186 would be great. If we can close today on the one-day candlestick about 186 or higher, we'll be in really good shape. That'd give us some confirmation knowing that we're going to hold that trend line and we're back up above a key level of support or above a resistance, essentially becoming a support in that regard. So again, good stuff there. We're under 50 on the RSI, not fantastic, but too early to kind of tell. And of course, we have a bearish divergence here, which could effectively return fire and come up for a nice little MACD convergence. Again, there's potential there. Did this previously, had a nice little recovery. And what day was that? That was basically on the 8th of March. That was a good day, definitely, for Mirror. But generally speaking, if we see something like that here today, again, a close above 186, I think would be extremely important on either the 4-hour or the 1-day. Both would be just fine. All right, so taking a look here at the 1-hour. Let's go ahead and take a quick look here. So actually, let's just go ahead and touch on TD sequential. We went down to an 8 and got a reset back up to a 4. So we should expect some consolidation sideways, possibly an increase from here. That doesn't really tell us too much. The cloud is probably going to tell us we're definitely in bear town, which we are, of course. We got the lagging span free of any price action that could intersect within the next 12 hours. If the price comes back above the cloud, whenever that happens, just say we continue on this trend here and we work our way back up this trend line, we'll have a natural cloud convergence, so to speak, or a cloud breakthrough right around tomorrow afternoon, around 2 or 3 o'clock. That's again Pacific Standard Time, but generally speaking, this is a good sign here telling us that we're kind of working sideways and up, and if we can continue this and get back up over the cloud, we'll be in good shape to take a position. But for right now, honestly, it's really just telling us that if you have a short position open, you want to keep it open. All right, and that tells me if I'm going to want to go long, I'm going to wait for confirmation, not just buy the dip, because you know what happens when you buy the dip. It does one of these, and then it comes right back down again, right? So try not to be the person that chases the bottom. It's easy to do as kind of a newer trader, but in the big picture, I can tell you that it's not really advantageous at all to try to chase the bottom. You much rather waiting for the trend to come upwards and then to get in there when you can, or even if the trend is halfway finished and you get in, you're still going to be more profitable than trying to find the absolute bottom. There's no such thing. Okay, so get that out of your head. This seems like a very tasty price, but it's probably not ideal because we don't have that full-on confirmation. So to me, again, confirmation is a close above 186, preferably on the 4-hour or the 1 day. This time tomorrow, right around just say noon or 1 or 2 in the afternoon tomorrow, 24 hours from now, if we're back above the cloud, that would be a consideration to take entry. Yes, the price would be marginally higher, but it would also be trending upwards and it would give us that confirmation that we have, we're on the right side of the tracks, okay? And that's the great thing about the cloud here, is it tells you when you are on the right side or the wrong side. Right now, we're on the wrong side if you're not shorting, okay? In other words, we should see a reversal soon, but don't just jump in because of the fact that we're getting overextended to the short side. We want to wait for confirmation that the bulls have taken control. So let's wait for a 4-hour MACD convergence. Let's wait for a price back above the cloud. 24 more hours from now will tell us. For right now, it is more likely than not going to continue sideways or progress downward, even though we have good indication on the trend lines, right? Again, trend line is very helpful to understand, but it's not a reason to consider maybe just taking entry on that alone. Other things have to factor in. And this is a pretty aggressive trend line too. Keep that in mind. It's a very strong trend line. So with it continuing this push upwards, it's going to be difficult to continue to maintain this for a long time. Okay. So again, I would say, I'm going to try to start doing this, but I would say we have about a 60% likelihood the price goes sideways or comes back down to 170 before it comes back up to 186. If we get a close above 186, that would give us confirmation we're on the right side of the tracks. I think we're going to need to wait until we see that tomorrow. Again, hypothetically at this point though, I think we're more likely to not really see a strong pushback until we get confirmation. Okay, I think we're almost there. I really do, but right now, a little too premature to go ahead and recommend an entry. I would say dollar cost average at best at the moment until we get confirmation. All right, I hope you found benefit here, of course, and look forward to working with you if you want to become a member, CryptoCache.tech. Thanks again to my current community members for requesting I cover this. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one.